My mom was born in 1962 in the village of Wolkai in Ethiopia. A daughter in a Jewish family of 11 siblings. The family lived simple farming life. They owned land and they sold cattle, goats, and sheep. In my mom's town, the people live peacefully and they respect each other. But they had to hide their Jewish identity because if not, they will be killed. So they will get tattoos of crosses on their forehead, their neck, their hand, to make sure they will not be recognized as a Jew. My father was born in Adorban, Ethiopia. My father had 12 siblings and the family also had a farming life. The Ethiopian Jews always had a dream to immigrate to Israel. They studied the Hebrew and the Torah in the village. They always knew they belonged to the Holy Land, Israel. When my mom was 17, her family sold all the property and they began to journey to Israel. They walked a long way from Ethiopia to Sudan, hiding by day and walking by night, to avoid the robbers that would rape, abuse, and steal from them. One night, they were walking and suddenly my grandma disappeared. Everyone started looking for her. They later found her in the hole in the ground. She was 8 months pregnant. Thank God, she was saved. When they got to Sudan, the Israeli government came to rescue them. When they arrived in Israel, they were surprised because they believed Jerusalem was made of gold. It was not. In the early 80s, my parents met in Israel and they got married. I have a very special memory in my childhood. Everyone in my town, Ashdod, came from a different country. Georgia, Poland, Russia, India, Morocco, French, and many more. It was the gathering of the world. So many different languages. I speak Hebrew, Tigrinya, Amharic, and English. Not as a good English as the rest of the class I know. Sometimes I just want to yell, Yalla, Kadima, באמת יוכל לחשוב הכל בעברית, וואו! Okay, I feel better now. At the time that I was growing up in Ashdod, there were many wars in Israel. It was very scary to live in my town because we have the big factory, Elta, where they made all the chemicals for the weapons. It was the Milchemet HaMifratz, the Gulf War, and Iraq was trying to bomb the factory. If they ever hit the factory, the explosion would be so big. We will always hide when we hear the Azaka. You know, wee-oo, and we would run to the shelter to hide many days and nights. We couldn't leave the house, but our faith in God made us strong. We always believed He will protect us. It was a miracle. When I was 18, I served the country like any other person in Israel. It was an honor to be in the military, to protect my country, the country that took my family in. But for the last 10 years, the people in Israel have changed. They're more stressed, they're angry because of the system. Everything is expensive, the food, the housing, the clothing. It's fact. People always complain. There were a recent uprising and a protest with the police in Ethiopia because of cell phone video showing the police beating an Israeli-Ethiopian soldier. Sometimes the Israeli disrespect the Ethiopian because of color and race like you have here in America. For example, my friend, she was seeking a local daycare in our area. Her husband called and confirmed there was a space for the daughter. But when he arrived there, he was told, there is no space for you. Another time, I was in the bus in my town going to work, and an older Ethiopian woman get on the bus, and the bus driver began to yell at her, "No, Kadima, nalabog na siya diyo at why not allowed to come here? Go back to your country." And he called her Kushi, which is a Hebrew version of nigger. This thing that's happening now daily in Israel. The Ethiopian Jews have the lowest paying job in society. First, it was the Moroccan, then the Yemenis, and now it's the Ethiopian. The Ethiopian people not going to be quiet. We are going to stand and fight for justice. Now there have been protests and make equality in Israel. I moved to America 5 years ago to make my dream come true, to be a makeup artist, actor, and model. But it was very hard to learn everything, to build my life from scratch. But I come from a family of Ethiopian survivors, Mishpacha Soredet, from a country of Israeli survivors, Medina Soredet. I told myself, I will make it happen. People always curious about me. The minute a word comes from my mouth, they ask me, where are you from? I say, I'm Ethiopian Israeli. And they are surprised. Wow, shalom. We didn't know that black people live in Israel. And they asked me many questions. How is the life in Israel as a black Jew? So I told them, Israel is my home. And I love the spirit of the land. Yes, there is prejudice that I hope will change, but I'm still blessed to have grown up there and speak such a beautiful language, Hebrew. Some people call me black, some people call me Jew, some people call me Ethiopian, and some people call me Israeli. But I'm the adventurer of the world. I'm a woman proud and free. I'm a Jew from Israel with a long story, a daughter of Solomon, an African queen with a head full of dreams. And I'm here to be seen, to make my mark on the world, to express to my people and to express to myself. Emuna.